Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into Anthropic's Claude Code version 2.1.169. We're going to see exactly how these brand new updates remove daily developer friction and honestly just save you a ton of time. If you use AI coding assistants, you already know that sometimes the tool itself can actually slow you down, right? Whether it's a hanging terminal, a dumped context window, or just a sluggish UI. Well, Anthropic is addressing that head-on with this release, which is squarely focused on stability, speed, and some massive quality of life improvements. So here's our quick roadmap for today. First, we'll meet Claude Code, then we'll look at the headline workflow upgrades, check out the new admin and enterprise controls, and wrap things up with stability and bug fixes. All right, Section 1 meets Claude Code. Just to make sure we're all on the same baseline here, Claude Code is essentially an AI pair programmer that lives right in your terminal and maintains full context of your code base. It isn't just a standard chat interface. It actively understands your project structure natively. By reading your files, writing code, and reasoning about complex logic directly from the command line, it meets you exactly where you're already working. You don't have to constantly switch context between an editor, a browser, and a terminal prompt. It's all right there. Moving on to Section 2, the headline workflow upgrades. Okay, this first upgrade is an absolute lifesaver for troubleshooting. If Claude Code ever starts behaving unexpectedly, the new safe mode flag acts as a clean room for debugging. Think about it. You're getting some weird output or an endless loop, and you just aren't sure if it's a rogue Claude.md instruction, a broken plugin, or maybe a misconfigured MCP server causing the headache. By using the -- safe mode flag or the Claude Code safe mode environment variable, Claude Code starts completely bare bones. All that extra stuff is temporarily turned off without you having to make any permanent configuration changes. It is the perfect clean diagnostic tool. Now, this next one, it is a huge momentum saver. The new /cd command totally eliminates that dreaded context loss penalty when you're navigating around your project. Before this update, if you changed your working directory mid-session, boom, you basically broke your prompt cache. You had to restart the tool and build your conversation back up from scratch, which, let's be real, is a massive flow killer. But now, you just type /cd, jump around your directories, and your entire prompt cache and conversation history stay perfectly intact. It keeps you right in the zone. Next up is Section 3, Admin and Enterprise Controls. If you're managing self-hosted infrastructure, listen up, because this is crucial. You now have a post-session lifecycle hook. This gives administrators a really reliable window to rescue uncommitted work or grab logs before a virtual environment gets completely wiped. In the past, when a session ended, the workspace essentially vanished into thin air, taking any unsaved data or vital debugging logs right along with it. But now, right at step 2 of the teardown process, you have a programmatic window to step in and snapshot exactly what you need securely before it moves to deletion. And to give administrators even more precise control over that entire teardown process, the SIG term to SIG kill grace period can now be fully configured. The default safely remains at 5 seconds, but you now have the flexibility to easily extend that. So if you're running complex, slow-closing child processes, like heavy local databases, deep build steps, or intricate testing suites that just need a little more time to wrap up cleanly, they won't be forcefully terminated mid-save. You get to dictate the exact timeline for a clean exit. For the power users and admins out there, you can also utilize the new disabled bundled skills environment variable to completely hide Claude's built-in commands from the model itself. This strips away the built-in skills, workflows, and default /commands. It's incredibly useful if you're building highly customized, restrictive enterprise environments, where you need the model to rely strictly on the specific tools and boundaries you provide, without any distraction from the out-of-the-box features. Finally, Section 4, Stability and Bug Fixes. Let's talk about some real, tangible performance gains here. First, they instantly removed this super annoying 30 to 50 millisecond stall on macOS that was happening at the start of every single turn for users authenticated via Claude.ai. Over a long coding session, those tiny milliseconds really add up to a feeling of sluggishness. They also fixed a highly frustrating regression for Windows users where the Claude-P command would just hang endlessly while scanning for / commands. Plus, overall CPU consumption has been noticeably reduced during response streaming and spinner animations, so your entire machine runs a lot smoother while the AI generates code. They've also seriously tightened up enterprise policy enforcement. Allowed and denied MCP servers are now strictly enforced, even on reconnects or before remote settings fully finish loading, effectively locking down potential security gaps. Furthermore, background agents now properly inherit your project-level environment settings, so no more rogue agents completely ignoring your designated Anthropic_model. And finally, if you've ever dealt with a remote session dying and then repeatedly spamming you with stale permission prompts when you desperately try to reattach, yeah, that annoying, endless dialogue loop is officially gone.
But behind the scenes, there's some really nice automatic housekeeping happening now. The system will automatically clean up stale log files from crashed sessions once a day so they don't accumulate indefinitely. If you use a lot of plugins, you might have previously noticed .in-use log files piling up over time if a session crashed unexpectedly, eventually creating a total mess in your directories. This silent, daily garbage collection is a massive relief. It ensures your environment stays totally clean without you ever having to manually intervene or track down hidden files.
To wrap up the fixes, a 5-minute default idle timeout has been restored specifically for Vertex and Foundry users. Let's face it, sometimes API streams just get stuck. Sitting there staring at an unresponsive hanging terminal while waiting for code to generate is a massive workflow killer. This clean 5-minute abort limit forces the system to confidently reset so you can get right back to work without manually killing processes or wondering if the model is still thinking.
So, think about it. We've covered the new Safe Mode Clean Room, the cache-saving/CD directory changes, those crucial enterprise teardown hooks, and a massive host of performance fixes. With tangibly faster performance, a perfect debugging environment, and absolutely no more prompt cache penalties just for navigating your own code, what will you build next, now that the friction is literally gone? How much more flow state can you achieve in your terminal today? I highly encourage you to check out the full documentation and manual over at claudemaster.net to leverage all these new tools. Thanks for tuning in to this explainer.